Good evening, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. My name is Maddie, and I am a bookseller here at The Novel Neighbor, an independent woman-owned bookstore in St. Louis, Missouri. We're thrilled tonight to welcome Loryn Brantz to celebrate the release of her adult poetry book, Poems of Parenting. Loryn Brantz is an author, artist, poet, and director. She is the creator of 2 best-selling board book series, Feminist Baby and It Had to Be You, Love Poems Your Baby Can See, and is also a 2-time Emmy Award winner for her work on Sesame Street. She's currently a consulting creative director for the beloved children's education program, Ms. Rachel. Her greatest desire is to make the world a better place through art, even if just a little, but hopefully a lot. Loryn lives in New York City with her husband, architect Jake J. Broader, and children Dahlia and Ronan. I'll bring Loryn on here in just a minute to hang out with us all. But before I go, I wanted to let you know that I'll be back at about 10 to 9 to ask Loryn any questions you have for her. So feel free to put those in the chat at any time. And if you don't have a copy of Poems of Parenting yet, we would love to hook you up. So without further ado, I'm going to bring Loryn in. All right, take it away.
Ready to go. There I am. Hi, everyone. So first off, thank you, Novel Neighbor, for having me. You're awesome. Everyone should support the bookstore and get Poems of Parenting or any book they want from there. I had it in my mind that I was going to be able to see everyone watching and talk to you and compare snacks and stuff. I have my wine. I hope you have your drink. But I can't see anybody. So I'm just sitting here alone, just drinking my wine. I'm having plantain chips. I'm in my jammies. I hope you're doing the same and that your bedtime routine was okay. Ours was terrible, but everyone's mostly asleep. Hopefully my son doesn't wake up. He's in the room next door. So if I'm talking quietly, that's why. I was just checking the monitor and he was talking about bananas, and it is 9 p.m. So at least he's not crying. So we're good with that. Please feel free to comment. I'll read all the comments after. Thanks for being here. So I'm gonna read some poems. I don't think I'll read for 40 minutes straight. So maybe we'll go to the Q&A a little earlier, but I thought I'd read some and then I could go back and talk about the inspiration for each of them, because all of them really come from a specific moment, I feel like, and I remember most of them. So I'll just read the first section. And this is the title page, which I really am proud of that drawing. It looks like my children. Okay. Part 1. Wrinkly baby bean, small and new, you are here. Otherworldly. The moment you were born, they placed you on my chest. Miraculous, otherworldly, truly a gift. I looked down and around to my partner, my love, and thought, this is by far the weirdest shit we have ever done. And then I'll just show the drawings like a picture book. Why not? This tall to ride. I waited and worried for 2 pink lines. I waited and worried for the weeks to go by. I waited and worried for you to arrive. I waited and worried to make sure that you thrive. I waited and worried and waited and worried and waited until I realized I'm missing one heck of a ride. And there's a roller coaster. Warm baby loaf. This is really funny feeling, just sitting here telling poetry to myself since I can't see anyone. I don't know if anyone's watching right now. But if you are, I hope you're enjoying it. And if you get bored, you can comment stop reading, do something else. Okay, warm baby loaf. When you are born, they call height length, 'cause you're just this laid out little flop peanut body cutie splooty baby loaf. Is there any more?
Take it down.
My husband just walked in, asking if anyone's watching, but he couldn't get on. Oh, people are watching. Someone told me that's nice. Hi, everybody. Okay, wish. I used to come here and wish for you. Now we come here together. Here's the drawing. Barnacle baby. Barnacle baby won't be put down. Barnacle baby, be carried or frown. Barnacle baby, I know you need me, but Barnacle baby, my back is hurting. And there's a drawing, and my son is still a barnacle baby, and he's 2.5, and he's getting really heavy, and it is a large barnacle to carry. My back is definitely starting to hurt, and he does not seem to care that my back is hurting. I say, Ronan, mommy's back is hurting, and he says, I don't care if your back is hurting. I'm a 2-year-old. Okay, run to you. If you coughed 5,000 miles away, I would probably hear you and come running there. Jake, what are you doing? Sorry, we live in apartments. The kitchen's right there. And if you hear rustling, that's my husband doing stuff. Okay, he's gonna stop. Okay, she's glowing. I feel the glow of motherhood. Like someone. Sorry. Jake's just slowly sipping whiskey, watching from across the way. Maybe you should sit on this side or like go somewhere else. Go watch from the other room. Okay, I'm sending him out. She's glowing. I could hear the ice hitting the cup. Nobody needs that right now. She's glowing. I feel the glow of motherhood. Like someone put wadded hair in a blender with sweatpants and gently poured it out on the counter, placed raisins for eyes. The glow seeps out. And then here's the mom, poured out on the counter. Sometimes when I breastfeed, I look down and think, wow, this will be a full-grown adult someday. That's really, really, really weird. There's the drawing. The mountain. Little by little, step by step, I will overcome this mountain. And I will look back someday and think fondly on this pile of teeny, tiny, little clothes. There's the laundry, the mountain, the mom with the little tiny baby pants. And I'll just do a few more. Dough baby. Poppin' fresh baby, straight out of the crib. Warm little body, plump squishy cheeks, cashmere cotton hair. If I could package this up, it wouldn't last long. Too delicious to save. Devour it now before it's too late. Okay. Last one for the reading part. Mom joy. Almost 40, finally realize what my body is for. It's not for you. It's not for them. My children come close, but not even then. It's really for me. To carry my brain, which holds more than expected. Stroll around Target, solve big problems, do nothing. Soft, fleshy mush. Watch out, everyone. Here comes my tush. And that's part of the first section. The book goes in sections of age. It goes to like about 4 years old. It's like baby, newborn, baby, toddler, kid. And if I go back to where I was, I thought maybe I'd just talk about the inspiration for some of the poems. Otherworldly. I mean, this was very much my experience with giving birth. I found it to be really one of the weirdest things me and my husband had ever done. And I had some friends warn me, like, you always see in movies and stuff, they have the baby and they're like, I've never felt love like this before. And they were like, you actually you don't know this baby. You might not feel that way right away. So I didn't know what to expect. And I did not feel that like, oh my gosh, like I knew I wanted to protect her, and like I knew I had to keep her alive. Like it was a lot of anxiety, but I just was like, who are you? Nice to meet you. Are you okay? Why are you making that face? Newborns make me really nervous, and I have a really distinct memory of them plopping around my chest. And she didn't cry when she was born, which was also a little alarming. And she just looked up at me and blinked, and I was like, oh, hello. And she was like, hello, with her eyes. And it was really weird. It was really, really weird. Obviously I felt madly in love with her eventually, but at first I was just like, wow, this is a really weird experience. This tall to ride, my babies were IVF babies. So I know, trying to conceive is a journey for everyone. And IVF is not a fun journey. And I really do, I think back and I wish that I had somehow been able to be more present during the process and in what was happening in my life, and know that the result that I wanted would come eventually, one way or another. And I remember being on vacations and stuff, things that I really should have enjoyed, and having this sort of like dark cloud over my head. And now, like, I would love a vacation. And I think I would really enjoy it. And I kind of wish at the time I had known how chaotic parenthood would be. And I could have appreciated the wait a little more, because the wait is really kind of your break before it happens. And when I think about it, I don't know anybody who wanted a child who didn't one way or another get one, whether that was through, IVF or like a donated embryo, or all these different ways. Like their baby came, and it sometimes takes longer and it's harder than other ways. But usually if you want that, you can get that. I don't know anyone who hasn't. And everyone's very happy with the end result and loves their child so much, no matter how they got there. So why can't we just, enjoy the ride? And that's much like all of life. I think about a lot, like, why worry about things before they happen? What was it? I read some book. I don't remember the exact quote, but Eckhart Tolle said something about, like, if you know a pan is burning hot, you don't sit there thinking like, I'm worried about, I don't remember the quote, but you don't touch the pan and you don't think about it. Like, it would hurt and burn and you don't need to worry about it. Okay, moving on. Born baby loaf. Babies are like little loaves. And I just love that they call height length when babies are born. I think it's the funniest thing. Like, they're just like, your length when you're horizontal, and then when you're upright, it's height. And it just cracked me up. I think it's so cute. And they take the little ruler. Oh, so cute. Wish. This one is also kind of IVF inspired. I live near a pier, and I go there, look at the water and all these things I couldn't wait to bring my kids to. And now I bring them there, and I'm like, oh, I used to come here and wish for you, and now we come here together. I mean, barnacle baby's pretty obvious. My son is still a barnacle. Run to you. I mean, I feel like this is probably relatable to everyone, but I feel like I can hear my children I could hear them cough from, I don't know how far, like a really far. It's like supersonic mom hearing. And I'm always like, is they okay? They're still coughing. And I like come running over ever since they were born. And even my daughter at some point, when she was like a baby, realized that I would come running anytime she coughed. So she started being like, and I would come running over, and I was like, you know how to get me. This is how I feel most of the time. Like this puddle of blender soup. That's where that came from. I mean, this one's obvious too. That's just a thought I had, and it's weird. It's a weird thought, and it's true. Luckily, I don't think he'll remember. breastfeeding. I hope not. That'd be weird. A lot of these are really obvious. Mom Joy. I'm almost 40 in June, and I'm loving it. I'm excited to be 40. I feel like you really just, you know yourself by 40, and you stop worrying about other people think, and it's just the best. I'm so feel so lucky to have reached this age. Not everyone gets to. What time is it? It's only 9:15. I could read some more. Should I read some more? Is there? Oh, there's questions. Okay, well, let's go to questions. I'll talk. Okay, I'm in the Maddie's talking on the chat.
Our secret communication. All right, I've got a few questions for you. Folks are wondering if you can talk a little bit about your transition from producing work for children to now producing some work for adults as well. Do you find some overlap in that?
Yeah, it wasn't like a conscious decision to do with this book. I mean, I've always loved children's media and working in children's media, and that's all I ever wanted to do. And then I kind of like started dabbling and writing more books for adults here and there, but nothing that I was like, I need to make, I need to finish this book. But then I thought of these poems, and they're obviously for adults. So the book ended up being for adults, and it's been fun. I like it. It's fun to like curse a little here and there. Obviously, I can't do that with kids' work, and it's fun to be able, like, I mean, there's no better feeling than like watching a baby read a book you made and enjoy it, and it's so sweet. But you can't be like, so what'd you think? Like, they can't like tell you what they thought of it. So it's been really nice getting like feedback from people that can speak words.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah.
Do you find that you're trying to like accomplish similar goals between the two, or do you find that they're like really different parts of your brain?
They're a little bit different. They're a little different, because when I'm thinking more of a perspective of like what's best for a child, and then the other is more like what it's for adults. I forget what I was gonna say. It's gone. Sorry, I don't know.
That's okay. It's 9:15.
It's literally my bedtime.
We've got a question about who you would say inspires your art and your poetry. Does anybody spring to mind?
My children are my number one inspiration. I mean, every poem is based on a moment with them. And I thought of a poem with it. It's straight from the kids. So thank you, children.
They're good for something, In terms of your like workflow, the way you produce art, how did children affect that? How did you find that your practices differed before and after they came?
Well, it's a lot harder to find time to do the work with the kids. It definitely made it trickier. But art is kind of, you can't really schedule inspiration or art. So like when it comes to the initial creation process, it's always been kind of chaotic. Like I think of an idea I really like, and I like this is all I want to do all the time is work on this idea. And then you have the like structured actual like making of the book. And that hasn't really changed. I worked, it depends on the situation. I worked at BuzzFeed for a long time, and it was like 9 to 5 and sit there and like churn out ideas, which is definitely a different process. But I think for like the best art and the best ideas, it's more, ebb and flow.
Yeah. I guess a related question to that is, how do you find the time for that art practice? Like, how do you prioritize all of this?
Well, I mean, we have childcare. So
That's
during that
huge.
time, that's
Yeah.
when I work the most. And I'm a very fast worker. Really, 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 really
That's the BuzzFeed.
like everything's kind of like sneezes. So that's really nice.
Yes.
So it's really just a balance, when the kids are at school, this, that, that's when I buckle down and do the
Mhm.
focused work. And then when I'm with them, if I have an idea, I'll like quickly like voice message it to myself or like notes app, but try to be with them when I'm with them.
Good. Yeah. All right. This is our last question. So if you've still got one that we haven't gotten to, be sure to pop it in real quick. But we have someone wondering, what do you think your next project is going to be? The poetry book goes till age 4. What happens next?
Well, I have a children's book I'm working on that'll be out
Excellent.
in summer 2026. Spicy little nugget. So stay tuned for that. And I'm
Okay.
also working on I'm hoping to publish a second one of these too.
Excellent. Well, if we don't have any other questions, is there anything else that you want to talk about, you want to read? Oh, we have a request for any tips or poems for potty training.
I don't have a poem for that, but I do have a tip. And well, I have a lot of tips for potty training. Potty training's hard. I mean, one, I would say no need to rush. Wait till your kid seems really ready. I don't see what the big, rush is. It's like they'll do it eventually. Two, personally, I think those like you do it in a weekend things are kind of, that didn't work for us. We tried that and it was not only did not work for us, I feel like it might have been a little traumatic for like everybody in the family, and it might have taken us a couple steps back. So again, I think more of like a natural. But what we ended up doing with my daughter that worked best was it was called a potty alarm. And we had her she didn't wear her diaper, and I think it took like a week and a half or so, and every like 2 minutes an alarm would go off, and it was like, the potty alarm, go go go, and like we'd run to the bathroom together and try to go, and then we just slowly spaced the alarm out wider and wider, and it worked really well. And I think she enjoyed the excitement of like running with me to the bathroom. We also had treats. Stickers my daughter was not into stickers, so she got like an M&M for a really long time every time she went potty for like a year or something. And she liked that. So whatever incentivizes your kid. I know there's people have certain feelings about food as incentives, but all the behavioral therapists that we've ever worked with think it's fine. So I don't know. That's what we did.
So you gotta do what works. And personally, M&Ms really work for me as well. So
Exactly. I still give myself like a little treat
yeah.
throughout the day.
Whatever we gotta do right now, you know?
Yeah.
All right. Any other questions for Loryn tonight? Is there anything else that you want to talk about? Any other poems you feel like you want to read?
No, thank you for watching, and I hope everyone enjoys their evening TV time, everything. And thank you for having
We have one person wondering, what is your favorite treat? I feel like this is really the perfect one to end on.
Oh, my favorite treat. I love macarons.
Oh, yes.
It's a good treat.
A really good one. Yeah.
See ya.
So fancy, so airy.
Yeah.
What a good time.
Really special. And the pretty colors.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Well, thank you so much for joining us tonight, Loryn. Thank you for reading your beautiful poems and sharing a little bit about your life that went into creating those. I know that it was very resonant for me and also folks in the comments. So thank you all so much for joining us tonight. If you don't have a copy of Poems of Parenting, we can absolutely hook you up. We do know how to use the mail. But otherwise, I hope you all enjoy your Thursday evening. Thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Thank you. Bye.